Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. I hope you're having a good one. I had to do that all over again because Dan let me know that I was still on mute like a moron. Yeah, and nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm far from it. My kids are perfect. My kids are perfect, especially my oldest. My oldest is like perfect. You know, like perfect for her. She's like found her space. So proud. Anyway, enough daddy talk. So, thanks, Dan. So I'm looking at everything. Everybody on Miss Kennedy, how are you? Jojo, what's up? The man who loves, what's going on? There's a lot. So what I was saying before is I look through the numbers and I'm looking to see what kind of area are we trading at, right? I primarily look at Bitcoin and then I look at everything else to see if there are any stragglers that might be dropping while Bitcoin is maintaining a certain space, or if there are any, outliers that are like just popping up, think Toncoin because it's been popping up a bit, just maintaining, just hitting new levels and maintaining, right? So I tend to look at that stuff. Hold it. Okay, I'm not even going to try to pronounce your last name because I will absolutely kill it. Mir? M-I-R, I can't. I'm not going to do that to your name. I would be so embarrassed. And what bothers me is if I mispronounce somebody's real name, it like grates my skin. So anyway, so I look to see where we are in terms of numbers. And I got a comment from somebody that was asking me, they had seen a short. Clearly, by the question, I knew they didn't see the whole video. But even if they had, they saw the short, and I was talking about numbers, and I was talking about Mt. Gox, how everybody kind of got a clear head about it, stop being in the clouds and all that kind of stuff. And Dan, that's awesome. And I sat there, and the guy, and the person, because I don't know if it's a guy and girl, the person asked me, I need context. What numbers are you talking about? Blah, blah, blah. Now, I'm talking about Mt. Gox. The whole Mt. Gox thing is about Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. I'm expecting you to go do that minimum little piece, right? I'm not a technical analyst. I'm not going to go over. I'm not a professional newscaster or anything like that. I'm not going to have all the details at my fingertips. I have the details when I do my research, and then I come up and I say, okay, here's where it is, or here's what it is. And I just I looked at the question and I was kind of like, I'm not compelled to respond. One of the reasons why I'm not compelled to respond is because I have a lot of people on this show that actually pay for membership. I feel compelled to answer them. But this person didn't stop to think, well, it was that day. I'm talking about Mt. Gox. That was the impactor for that day. So why are you asking me for dates if I'm talking about that day? And it was a short. It wasn't like it was a long video or anything like that. But even in the long video, I'm talking about that day. So I got the feeling that the person was, new, which is cool. And I figured, you know what? I'm not going to answer. It would take a lot of work, and I'm in the middle of things, and I need to give it some thought. I need to backtrack a little bit, figure out what the numbers were that I was looking at, and then come back and answer, and just a whole bunch of back and forth. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to answer right now. And I said, if we're going to grow as a group, right, I don't want you to just listen to me. If you notice, when I do my videos, I ask you guys, hey, look, I don't know the answer to that. Can somebody please research X? And usually, I want to say like 100% of the time, somebody will come back and be like, oh, this is what that was. And I go, thank you. I can't remember everything. I have so many things going on in my head. I can't remember everything. But I'm hoping that, day by day, step by step, you're all figuring out there's a certain amount of research that we each need to do about what interests us in this space, right? So for a general feel, I keep up with Bitcoin. And then I dig down from there. I look at all the coins that are in my wallet. I look at all the coins that I'm considering to be in my wallet. You know what I mean? And then I kind of try to bucketize those, for research. I kind of say, well, I'm researching this to be in my trading wallet. And then after a while, you might graduate to the DCA wallet. So those are things that I consider. Toronto, you kill me with that, with how you did your name, man. I love it. Hold it. Did I miss something? Ha ha ha. Last name mispronunciation. As an American, I bet you will never get mine right. Okay, so that tells me that you are not from the United States. You're probably from, I don't know, one of the ANIA countries. I've got family that's Albanian. I'll ask them. Prononymous me, if you're multitasking, you're on such punishment. Go stand in the corner. Oh man, you're killing me. You hate me. Murray, you hate me. If you're asking me to pronounce that, you absolutely hate me. One of my best friend's kids, he's from his family's from Slovenia or something like that. And, I would never have guessed his name, ever. Would not have happened. Anyway, let's get to the news. There's some stuff going on. Are we doing this here or on YouTube? You really want to be on YouTube, because there's a YouTube every night. I try to ask a poll on YouTube every night. So whenever you see me on, if you're on Instagram and you see me on Instagram live, I'm on YouTube, like for sure. And in a very little while, we'll be on Roku. Just saying, just putting that out there. So anyway, does it make sense at all to buy BTC now instead of ETH or SOL? The man who loves, you've been on a bit. I'm thinking I should put you on punishment. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking for that question, I think I should put you on punishment. But I'll go over it again. All jokes aside. Bitcoin is a completely different animal than all other coins. So you're always, at least for me, what I tell my kids is, kids, you're always going to be interested in Bitcoin. And the reason why is because you can leverage Bitcoin, as a holding, right? A lot of people do it. There are lots of things that you can do with Bitcoin that you can't do with other coins. So I tell my kids, always put it, if you have a DCA strategy, which you should, this is what I'm telling my kids, because I'm not a financial planner. I do not give out financial advice. I don't. All jokes aside, I do not, period. So I tell my kids, you always, if you have a DCA strategy, you have $100. You're always, no matter what percentage it is, you're always going to put something inside Bitcoin, because it's a different animal. And then from the rest of it, you'll figure out what you're going to do with the rest of the coins. Okay, Dad. Boom. That's how we rock and roll, right? For me, that's the same DCA strategy that I follow, because my kids mean everything to me. My first name means Jack to me. Seriously, my first name means nothing. My last name, on the other hand, my last name represents my kids, my kids' kids, my kids' 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 kids, kids' kids' kids. I live for that. That's all I live for, right? So I tend to tell them, if I'm thinking that long-term view, most people think long-term, it's 5 years, 10 years, whatever years they want to put on it. Now, I'm not thinking years. I'm thinking generations. I'm thinking, what can I do for my kids, for my kids' kids? Not in terms of, I need my name to be, I need me to be remembered as legacy. No. It's not a legacy play. It's how can I set them up for success? That's how I look at it. That's how I live my life, because I want to set them up for success. So that's what I'm doing. Good evening. So we've got 13 points. I think 13 points of news. You want me to just rifle through the news that I've picked up tonight? What's going on with Coinbase wallet and all of the panic? You tell me. What's my rule, Dan? What's my rule? Do I leave money on Coinbase wallet? compared to, right? Because I'm thinking about another transaction. That's the only reason why, because I'm thinking about the next transaction. If I've got a transaction coming up, yeah, sure, I'll leave it there. Other than that, I don't care. I'm not playing. I don't think that. So the question that you asked me, hey, Spent Cookie, the question that you asked me is a bit nebulous. I need something a little bit more direct on that one. Dan, you are not out of the doghouse. No, you just got back in there with that question. What's going on? No. You're back in the doghouse. You forgot to say asking for a friend. Anyway, let me rifle through the news real quick because some of it is very interesting. So hydrogen technology and a couple of the executives have been found guilty. They're getting jail time. The hydrogen executives are getting jail time for manipulating the cost or the price of hydro, the token. So that's what's going on. Then Doraemon was the ticker symbol. Rug pull, $1.45 million. $1.45 million. Somebody asked me to do some research on a coin that it's ranked high. It's within 1,000 though. It's within 1,000. So the coin in that case was Blender. I'm all right with Blender. Blender's operating in a good space. I'm willing to give, if I was investing and I had room, from my trade wallet, if I had room, I'd give Blender about $100, me personally, because I just don't, you know what I mean? It's a really, really, really long shot. But I also ragged on him because, I did a video June 18th this year, June 18th, talking about Blender. So I ragged on him because I'm like, I'm so hurt. You didn't see my video, and I spoke about it. How could you do that? But yeah. So but he came up and he said, "Listen, I'm following all your rules. Here's all the information that you asked for. I'm doing what I do. I'm just wondering what your opinion was." And let me tell you, hat tip, because he had all the information right there for me. I didn't have to think about it. I did not have to think about it. The only thing I had to think about was I knew I spoke about it. I just wanted to go get the exact date of when I spoke about it so I could give it to him so he can go watch that video. And it happened to be that particular coin. Hold it. Understood. But since the man who loves you killing me. Understood. But since I ain't got no kids, my invest is for the bull cycle, because I'm sure you meant cycle, not circle. Now to 15 months. Should have mentioned that. Still stands. That's what I told my kids. Period. Still stands. Now let's get to the news. So you had hydro getting manipulated. They got time. They got jail time. Doraemon, rug pull, 1.45 million. Like, are you serious? These are coins that were severe long shots. They were really, 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 really long shots. Not registered or anything else like that. And, I'm sitting, well, hydro might have been. Hydro wasn't. When I ask you to do your own research, it's to avoid those kinds of things. Now, you're not always going to know if something's going to turn into, a rug pull. I mean, what was it? Yesterday I told you 106,000 coins created on Solana in a week. You would not have any idea, none, as to which one of those is going to be a rug pull, which one of those is just a test coin, which one of those is going to wind up being abandoned. You have no idea. I need to see a coin do something. Like, I know somebody who created a coin. I'm not going to say the coin name. And I sat there and I was like, number one, I know he didn't create the coin, right? He probably paid somebody to create the coin for him. And he's out there pushing the coin, trying real hard, but he didn't develop it. So the first thing that came to my mind was, If you're not involved in the development, I know that the security sucks. Right? The second point, security sucks so bad, I'm pretty sure your developer has a back door, was lazy and took your money, or whatever have you. I will never give that guy my money for his coin. Not happening. Not gonna happen. I just can't. I can't even. I would call my brother up and just say, hey, I need you to stop by the house just so you can give me a butt whooping. Don't ask why. Don't ask why. Just do it. Just do it. I'd have mom on the phone, right? I'd have mom on the phone just for verification, just so that he understood. No, this is a real thing. Gotta do your research. That's the only reason why I brought up those two stories. You must do your research. Bitwise CIO predicts that Ether spot ETFs could attract about $15 billion within 18 months of launch. Could happen. The contrarian idea from Bernstein Capital Management, I believe the name is, Bernstein, they're like, yeah, there's not staking involved in that. That could be a problem. Also valid. Me, on the other hand, I'm thinking, I'm not going to get involved with a spot ETF. A spot ETF was not made for me. And I've said this before. A spot ETF was not made for me, and you can tell it's not made for me because I don't own the coin. I'm too experienced. I'm not going to buy an ETF. I'm going to go buy the coin. If I want exposure to Ethereum, I'm going to go buy it. Hold it in my wallet. Let it sit there, marinate, like my man said. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to buy an ETF. That's not to say that ETFs are bad. I don't think they are. I think they're great. They're for people that either do not have the time to do that, or they're saying, here's a chunk of money that I'm going to give to this particular money manager to go do their thing. Because that's not what I do for a living. I do this for a living, that makes me money, and then they go do that. That's the idea. So I'm kind of like, yeah, that works. That works. So yeah, will staking or the lack of staking have an effect? Possible. Probable? I don't know. I don't know that people buying into an ETF are ready for the idea of staking. See what I mean? I would leave that to the money manager that I'm working with, that they're buying whatever it is they need to buy, and they will figure out if they want to stake or not. Feel me? So those are questions that I would have. Marathon Digital Assets started mining Caspa. They didn't start mining Caspa. They've been mining Caspa. They started mining Caspa, I think, in like 2019, something like that. Yeah, that's not new. It's just that the number that they came out with was new. But they've been mining Caspa for a minute. Yep. What else was there? Robinhood is going to offer up to, I think, 10 euro for computer is acting stupid because Teams decided I'm going to restart. I hate Microsoft Teams for one major reason. They don't allow you to turn off automatic updates, and it will update when it feels like updating. They don't own my computer. I do. It should not be like that. So I agree with the EU. It should not be bundled with anything. I don't appreciate the automatic update. They need to fix that. So if anybody from Microsoft, if you're listening to me, my company is a Microsoft partner, and I'm officially telling you, yeah, that whole update whenever you want thing, yeah, no, not a fan. Not a fan. I'm coming close to like turning it off, like permanently. Anywho, Robinhood's given $10 of ZK. That's meant to, pump up ZK Sync. Nice, right? It's kind of cool, but it's only in Europe. I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of things happen in Europe that don't happen here in the United States. Have you noticed? Yeah, it's a pain in the tail. Why? Yeah, I know. Vapor was locked. I got it. Smart Alec Dan. I sat here and watched it. And it was painful. It was like a slow train wreck. Oh, that reminds me. I was in a car accident yesterday. Or my car was in a car accident while it was parked. Have a semi length of space in front of me where my car is parked. Guy, you know how you pull in nose first? Little old man pulls in nose first and scrapes the bumper of my car. Hits my rim, damages the rim, damages the tires. Bumper must be replaced. Took it to the shop. They were like, yeah, that's not a fix. I was like, great, that's awesome. And then they're like, yeah, and we have to check out the electronics that are in your bumper to make sure everything's fine. And I was like, oh, that's right, radar. So it was awesome. It was awesome. It's just awesome day. Awesome day. What's good, Agar? So then you have Germany still dumping. Then on top of that, the United States just moved over to Coinbase Prime, $240 million in Bitcoin. Where did they get it? Not Silk Road. They already dumped that. That happened a long time. It happened 2 years ago. This guy, Banpreet, something like that. I forgot his last name. Convicted drug trafficker, had his court case. They confiscated his Bitcoin at the trial in January, and now they're dumping it. Well, they've moved it to Coinbase Prime. I don't know how it's going to affect the market. I don't know if it's going to be OTC or whatever, but it's $240 million. Boop! Just like that. I want you to pay attention to that downward pressure, because that downward pressure started this morning. That news broke this morning, and throughout the day, we kind of fought. Bitcoin fought to stay above 60. That's good resilience, considering $250 million in a chunk, not over days, just boop. That's not small. That's not small at all. What else happened? MiCA, the European laws, all that good stuff, comes into effect, and they're thinking most of the crypto companies out there in Europe or doing business in Europe don't know the proper dates. They haven't been educated well. That's what that says. So you haven't been educated. What? So you could catch a penalty because you didn't understand the dates? So they either wrote it confusingly, or they just didn't take the time to educate these companies. That's going to be a problem. I don't care what anybody says. That's going to be a major problem. A major problem. Just check the notes. Diminished value. Hold it, because I can't see what it says. Make them pay you. Yes. The man who loves. I do not get why my government dubs BTC went in another 12 months, because they have no guarantee of that. Because we have faith does not make it real. See what I mean? The government's got to operate how the government's got to operate. The government wants the cash. They'd rather deal with the cash because that's a known thing. Until they recognize, digital assets for what they are, they're always going to go for the cash. And they waited. Think about what the price was back then and what the price is now. They waited. Timing is bad, right? Let me catch the market when I seriously think, this is my own thought. It's theory. Market's down. They know why the market's down. The news of Germany hit, news of Mt. Gox hit, market took a hit, recovered just a hair, right? People came to the senses when it comes to Mt. Gox, and they said, oh, perfect time. Let's dump the 240. For real? That's what you want to do right now? That's not nice. That's not nice at all. That's not cool. But that's what's going on. Yeah, because we don't know for sure that that's going to happen. That, it's going to be 2x, 3x, going to hit $1 million, $1.5 million. We have no idea about that. We know it can go down. We know it can go up. We don't know what it's actually going to do. And 240 mil, that's a lot. That's a lot of money. I'd be thinking about that if I'm a government. Right? Bad timing. I think it was dumb. with the current administration in office trying to change their outlook with regard to crypto, rehiring people that used to run. Yeah, I think that was a bad idea. But that's just me. Binance transition. So in Binance out in the UAE, they've got Binance. What is it, FZW or something like that? FZE is what it is. And so they're transitioning all of their global people that are based there over to that Binance. So think of it as you had a Binance account and now you're going to be transitioned over to Binance.us. I know it's a bad example because Binance.us, yeah, that's going to go bye-bye. I'm like 100% sure. How do you survive? I don't see how Binance.us can survive, but whatever. So they're transitioning over there. They're trying to do everything. They got the license, so it seems like they're doing everything properly over there. They need to revisit every place that they do business and fix whatever compliance issues they have, create specific teams that will handle each specific municipality so they can answer all of the questions, jump through all of the hoops, do all of the mea culpas, come up with numbers that they would have to pay for whatever fines they have to cover, all of that. They need to do that. Show the world that you actually know how to run your business, run it cleanly, and not get in trouble, as well as show your customers that they're not going to be, inconvenienced. Anybody working with Binance.us is now severely having inconvenience. Why? I know if you live in Washington State, you're done. They're going to cease operations. Done. That level of done. Not cool. Not cool. Because had they paid attention to regulatory compliance issues for each municipality or each state that they're in, state meaning country, they would have had a better time. The United States is a very special place because each state has its own voice. Yeah. That's what makes it tough. That's what makes it tough here. What else would happen in the news? PancakeSwap integrates AI-powered prediction market software from Allura Labs on the Arbitrum chain. Okay. Cool. Predictive? I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't think that AI is all the way there yet. I think right now it's still in the novelty phase. It's cute. You can use it for some things, not for other things. Do I want it to predict what trades I want to do? I'd rather develop an algorithm because that's going to be tough. I don't know how it's going to run. Like, I would need to run that software for a couple of years against an open market. Like, here's a test space, here's the open market, run the software against that for a couple of years before I'd want to do something like that. And maybe that's what they're doing, but yeah, I wouldn't be taking that live. That's my own opinion. Custodia Bank CEO predicts Bitcoin will rally before the U.S. election. Yeah, I think so. I really do think so. I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. Animoca Brands, they're thinking about going, hitting the public market, either in Hong Kong, it's two completely separate areas, Hong Kong or the UAE, the Middle East. I wouldn't be considering Hong Kong. I would not be considering Hong Kong. I'll feel dumb buying just $100 in Bitcoin. You should not. You heard me. You should not. Sometimes you have the money and sometimes you don't. $50, fine. You invest what you can invest. And don't feel bad that you don't have more to invest. Don't feel stupid. Don't feel dumb. Nah. Don't. I would. The way I learned how to invest is, I learned back in the day, you have a mutual fund, X amount of money per paycheck. So it started out for me as $25 per paycheck. Then it became $50 per paycheck. Every time I got a raise, I took a percentage from myself and the rest of it went for that. That's how I learned. I had a great financial advisor when I was younger. I used to work for this crazy medical consulting firm, And they forced us to listen to this financial advisor. Now, the CEO of that company was loaded. When I say loaded, I mean like family level, multi-generational wealth loaded. And this was his guy. Not his family's guy, but his guy. Because obviously, multi-generational wealth, so everybody gets a guy. This was his guy. So yeah, I was very attentive. Rockster, what's up? That was the name of my first motorcycle, BMW Rockster. So Animoca Brands, choosing between those two places, spent about $5.9 billion IPO. Woo! Why would you consider Hong Kong? China is a tough place to do business, and Hong Kong is China. I don't know. Binance disabled copy trading for European users, and the reason why? Micah again. There's a story going around, and I want you to pay attention to it. There's a story going around right now where they're saying that Binance is going to delist things like Shiba Inu and a couple of others. They're not delisting Shiba Inu. They're winding down TUSD. T as in Tom, USD. That's what they're doing. True USD. So don't just read the headline, get into the article. Because that's going to throw a lot of people. What else happened? BitTrue Exchange is promoting XRP, and I'm like, yeah. Because who was it? It was Dubai approval for global transfers using XRP AMM. Yeah, I'd be promoting that. For me, I'm still not going to add XRP. That's not enough news for me. That I'm not seeing action from it. I need to see action from that before I would, buy more XRP. I'm not selling my bag, but I'm not adding to that bag either. It's not going to happen. Last bit of news. Abra. I'm going to read you what I wrote in my notes. Abra and CEO settled with 25 state regulators for operating without licenses, agreeing to return $82.1 million, up to $82.1 million to U.S. customers. Back on June 16th of last year, Texas state securities regulator accuses Abra of insolvency and secretive fund transfer to Binance. Yeah. I reported that. That was what I reported back on June 16th last year. Now you know I do my research. I do it so that I can go back and I can find something like that. Because I was like, Abra, 25 states. What? Why do I know that name, Abra? Check my notes. And there you go. That's why I do my own research. And I track my own research. I don't just grab a pen and paper. I open up a computer application called OneNote, and it enables me to quickly search everything that I have about a given topic. That's what's up. That's what I do. I do my notes like all the time. If I'm missing questions, if I'm missing all that stuff, hop on over to YouTube and drop the questions. Oh, you know what? Today's poll. What is your most weighted coins by market cap? Less than 100 million, 100 million to 500 million, 500 million to 2 billion, and above 2 billion. 33% of you said above 2 billion. 17% of you said 500 million to 2 billion. Nobody said 100 to 500. Everybody else is long, less than 100 million. 50% of you said less than. So now I have a question for you. For those that have voted already. For those that have bags that are the most weighted space in their bags is $100 million or less. How many of those coins do you think, now that you've been in it for a minute, how many of those coins do you think are going to make it? And how many times do you pull out of one coin to move into another because you realize, not going to make it? Like, what's your thought process? And I'm not saying you have to answer now, but that's the question I would be asking you. if it was a one-on-one conversation. Inquiring minds need to know. Because for me, I'm not taking that. What's making it? You're asking for my definition of what's making it, meaning what coin is going to survive and continue on as a real project. Not going to turn out to be a rug pull, not going to turn out to be, an abandoned like that are actually going to make it to the next level. That's what I mean by making it. Agar. I don't have it in front of me. The Yahoo Finance episode went very well. Thank you for asking. It will air tomorrow on Yahoo Finance. The show name is Stocks in Translation. It will air tomorrow at 12 p.m. And you'll see me and my ugly face all up in there. I'm there for the whole show. The conversation was me for the whole show. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. They made me feel so comfortable. That team just rocks. Right? That team just rocks. All the way. I mean, from the stars to, Jared's the host, and then she's a really sweet lady, and I'm missing her name right now. I'm missing her name, and I can see her face in my head right now. I apologize for missing your name in case you're watching this show. I'm so sorry. Jared, their producer, Jimmy Corpus, just amazing. He's amazing. Jimmy is also a lifelong friend of mine. We went to high school together. So it was great. And he was like, dude, I saw you drop the book. I saw you did this, you did that, da-da-da-da. I'm going to try to get you on the show. I think you'd be great for the show. Lo and behold, we had a conversation, day before yesterday. We were just chewing the fat, two homies chewing the fat. Hang up, an hour later, dude, 770 Broadway. I've never been inside that building, sir, so whatever you're accusing me of wasn't me. He's like, no, tomorrow, 770 Broadway, be here, 12:30. So say what now? Be here, please. You're going to be on the show. Bet. So I go all the way downtown. That's when my car accident happened. But it was great. It was a great experience. Outstanding. So much so that I want to do some more. Losky. I think it all depends. Some coins I'm exiting at a certain percentage of gains. But coins like BTC and Sol are long-term. Yes, but I'm talking about the coins that are less than 100 million. For those people that voted and they said the bulk of my money is in coins that are less than 100 million, I want to know what your thinking was. There is a mindset, between, for some people that they believe that the lower the price the coin, they can put in more money and they can make more money. And in a way that works. If you have a coin, like Shiba Inu had gone like thousands of percent, right? So I wonder about that. Bronx to Hollywood. No, right here in New York City, man. Silicon Valley, what's up? So Jimmy's from Washington Heights and I'm from the Bronx. So yeah, there's a connection. Went to the same high school. Mad connection. For some reason, we just hit it like day one. He and I just hit it off. And it's, now that we're older, we know why. And the reason why is because we chewed the same dirt as kids. We kind of knew the same kinds of things, did the same kinds of things. So we kind of knew. Crazy cool cat. Sent me a picture today when he took his kids to my son's cookie store, and it was just awesome. His kids have these big, bright smiles. Love it. And his kids aren't like little kids. His kids are, a little bit older. Loved it. Just love it. But yeah, there's a math in people's heads that, if I buy at the beginning, if I buy 10 coins. Now I want you to think about this. If I buy 10 coins and one of them makes it, I put $100 in and this coin makes it. Yeah, you could become a millionaire. It's possible. Luck would have to be on your side, right? That thinking is almost akin to how venture capital firms look at it, how private equity firms look at it. if I invest in X number of companies and one makes it, it washes away all the losses that I took on the other companies, and I make big money on that one company. They're playing the odds. They're playing the odds. It's a different mind game, a different investment strategy, depending on what space you're investing in, where you find that coin, and it also matters how much money you're going to put in. So that's why I was asking. That's why I was asking the question. Anyway, I've kept you guys here for a really long time. We've covered 13 points of news. Think about that. 13 points of news. Wow. With additional points, put in there, that's a lot of news for one night. What is it? Is it Rich Shib Moon? Okay, you like Shib. Is it JLA Billy? What's going on? Jason Hill. ASI is going to be big. Is it now? Is that why I bought my bag the other day? Yeah, I'm just messing with you, man. Yeah, I think it's gonna be great. I think that once they combine and they do something, I think it's gonna lightning outside. Once they combine to make that one coin, I think they will have the depth and breadth of team and just bulk in their reach that they'll be able to do a lot of things. So yeah, I'm expecting a lot from ASI, for real. The man who loves, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. Please join over on YouTube. Everybody on YouTube is going to get a bonus. There's going to be something happening on YouTube, or for the YouTube subscribers, and even more so for the YouTube members. And I can't stress that enough. It's just that it takes a lot. It takes a lot of work to get done what we need to get done, and it's all coding. We're writing real code, whole application, all that good stuff. So it takes a lot of work. So we're still working on it, but we know what it is. We're hair away. I know I've been saying it for a minute, but when we bring it, we want to bring it correctly, and we want to make sure that everything works the way we want it to work. So we'll get there. And yes, I do hope it's soon. Like we've been so close for the past few weeks. And then we do testing, and then we find something new. We do testing, and then we find something. We do testing, and we find something. And then we do testing, and we go, oh, well, it works, but we kind of want it to do this, and we'll improve that before we release it. That's what we're going through. Agar, what is that? B. Oh, you meant bruh. It's because I'm like, in my head, I'm reading it, and I'm just going, is there a coin that I'm supposed to know about? Bruh, I'm only getting 0.43 to 1 ASI on my Ocean tokens. Oh, because Ocean's worth a lot less, bro. Are you serious? Go do the math. You should be ashamed of yourself. That's actually a good thing. It's not to be bad yet. Yes, Dan, thank you so much. Got to be a bagger to subscribe. The cost is so low. I set it low on purpose because there's no excuse. There's none. There's no excuse. If you're listening to me right now and you're investing, the price is so low, it's ridiculous. That's what Dan is saying. Funny, though, that you mostly read Instagram. No, because I actually read both. I actually do read both, and I respond over here more. It's just that Dan has both accounts. So so he'll make a statement over here and then go over there and make another statement. Put on us, me can do something like that. So I read both. I definitely read both, but certain questions I don't feel obliged to answer because if you're a member, members get answers.
One good reason.
Members get answers. Right? So that's the idea. Anyway, I gotta let you guys go. My big man is home, so I'm happy about that. He went to Six Flags, had a great time. Anyway, I hope you guys like what I do, how I do it, why I do it. Let me know if I can be of assistance. Put on us me. Yeah, it was funny. I can't even lie because he's yelling at me because the garage door was left open. I'll tell him why in a minute. I've been having like a great time. The more research I do, I've just been seeing things that are connecting dots for me, and I'm becoming more and more positive. just more and more positive about things. And I know it's crazy. I just feel that way. There's something burning in me right now. I just have such a fiery positivity, in me right now. So anyway, I know I'm crazy, but thank you so much for your support. I greatly appreciate it. It helps us get it all done. Let me end this poll. I'll tell you what the actual numbers are. Give me a moment. It's got to pop up. I just ended the poll. How long does it take to do the poll thing? It should have popped up already. There it is. There you go. Okay, so what is your most weighted coins by market cap? 57. Wow, holy moly. 57% lower than the $100 million market cap. 28% between 500 million and 2 billion. Less than two. These numbers are nuts. Holy moly. I did not. Okay. All right. Dan, I need you to do me a favor because I know you're probably going to have this question. I want you to be in charge of asking me tomorrow what my different strategy is for each one of those price points, because that's very interesting. It's 57, 28, 14. 57% for less than 100 million, 28% for greater than 2 billion, 14% for 500 to 2 billion, and 0 for 100 million to 500 million. That's actually very interesting to me. Anyway, everybody, have a great night. Thank you for showing up. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, become a member, buy the book, because if you're interested in the class on 7/20 at 10 a.m., you're going to need the book. Have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.